Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And today it's very exciting. We have an actress with us that's in the new Hallmark movie, A Taste of Love. We're talking with Susan Gallagher. And Susan, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm happy to be here. Hi, everybody.
Yes. So this is your first time on the podcast. So why don't you
Yeah.
introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how you got inspired to get into acting?
Okay. Well, my name is Susan Gallagher, and my mother was in the entertainment industry. She was a jazz musician and singer, and I think I kind of grew up with a bit of the bug for the biz. And I did a little bit of print modeling when I was younger, but I grew up in Charlotte, Gastonia, North Carolina, and we didn't have a whole lot of film or TV business. So didn't really get into acting until I moved to Florida because back in the day, Florida was third in the country, I believe. It was LA and then New York and then Florida in film production. So we had quite a bit going on. And I was starting to have babies and wanted to just do something part-time and have a creative outlet. So I started
Hmm.
taking acting classes in Tampa and Orlando. And some doors started opening up, and here we are.
Hmm.
So I worked part-time for about 20 years while raising my kids, and I don't regret that at all. So I've been playing catch up like the last
Hmm.
10 or 12 years, trying to get some more work and get to that next level, and just real grateful for everything that I've had.
Did you grow up going to the movies a lot as a
I,
movie
I
fan?
did, and my father actually wanted to be an actor. He was sort of a suave Marlon Brando kind of guy, but somebody need to have a real job and pay the bills, and acting can be a big challenge.
Hmm.
So he worked for our family's business that had been in Gastonia, North Carolina for many years, and never was really able to pursue acting. So I think I kind of picked up his dream, and I'm just, I say that he's looking because both of my parents have passed, that he's looking down from above, and he's very proud of his youngest child.
Hmm.
So,
Oh.
yeah,
Have you done mostly on film or have you done stage as well or?
mostly film and TV. Would love to have done more stage, but because they have, most of the rehearsals are at night, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
very big time commitment. I was not able to do that while the kids were growing up because I really felt it was important to be there to put them to bed. And
Sure.
yeah, so we had a lot of commercials, union commercials, because I eventually joined the union back in the 90s, and because we have all the theme parks. And that was always a great way to, if you could book one commercial, it was a great way to subsidize well, your acting career while you were trying to
Hmm.
break into that business and book roles. But I basically started out doing student films, UCF and USF, and FSU really has a fantastic film department. And so I've done a ton of student films, and then short films, and I've produced my own short films. And I would be in my friend's short film, and then I would produce a short film, and then they would be in mine. And that's kind of how I got started in the business, was building a network of people who were like-minded, who wanted that creative outlet, and wanted to challenge themselves in this way. And it's just, it's been a great ride.
Have any of those student filmmakers gone on to like do anything we would know about?
Um, Not that I can think of off the top of my head. I haven't. That's a really good question. I've not been asked
That'd be
that.
interesting.
It would be. It's been so long since I've done student films that I haven't kept up with a lot of them.
Hmm.
But I can tell you this, um, some of the short films that I have done, uh, really low budget indie projects, have premiered at Sundance and Tribeca, South by
Hmm.
Southwest, so which
Hmm.
are three of the biggest film festivals in this country.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of talent, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a big budget.
Yeah. What do your kids think if if they like saw you doing a commercial or in one of in a role?
Yeah. Well, both of my kids, Caroline and Bo, grew up in the business. We would go to Los Angeles every year for pilot season because I had booked in
Oh.
the 90s. I booked a recurring role on an Aaron Spelling television show called Safe Harbor on the WB, starring Gregory Harrison and Rue McClanahan, and Mickey Rooney was in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're probably too young to even know who any of these people are, but Aaron Spelling used to be a very big
Yeah.
deal. And he handpicked me to play Gregory's potential love interest. And we were on the air for one season, but we were in a 9 o'clock time slot opposite Monday Night Football, and we really needed an 8 p.m. audience because Gregory's character, he played the sheriff of this little town that shot up in Jacksonville, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
He played the sheriff, and he had these three adorable sons. So it was kind of like a My Three Sons take, and we just needed a little younger audience, but it was a great experience for me. And after that, some doors opened up, and that's when I started going to LA for pilot season every year and taking the kids. And they both
Mm.
did acting and print modeling and commercials and that kind of thing. My daughter was more interested than my son. He just wanted to play sports and did not want to have to learn lines. So he did more print work because he's very photogenic. And
Mm-hmm.
but my daughter was an actress for quite a while and very talented. And she's been in, she was in One Tree Hill and Army Wives and done
Mm.
some movies of the week. She was actually in the film, very last film that was completed right before Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans. It
Mm.
shot there, and she and I kept an apartment in New Orleans back when I was doing Treme, this television series on HBO. But finally, my husband was, he got to the point where he was like, listen, girls, because she had graduated from LMU, Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles, came back. We rented an apartment in New York because my husband was like, go study, Susan. Bo does not need you to come up there and be cleaning his house once a week. So I had a little hard time cutting the cord with him, but I rented an apartment for 3, 4 months, probably 6 months because Caroline stayed, and we studied. And I met Zena Jasper, who is a renowned teacher. We lost her last June. But she was a tremendous influence on me, positive influence, and changed my life and my way I approach acting. And she was just a personal mentor and just fantastic. But anyway, we did the New York thing and would work up there some, and then the New Orleans thing. And anyway, what I was going to say is my husband was finally like, okay, y'all both have, you've had your fun and games. I can only afford one actress in the family. So my daughter went back to school, got her master's in HR. But you can always come back to acting.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't afford to do it for a few years, or you need to focus on motherhood or whatever, or you can always come back to it. You're
Mm-hmm.
never too old.
Yeah. Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies. Ask what is like being a working actor. I've just noticed you had so many different shows that you'd been a part of, and just that grind of all those audition tapes you're sending in, all of that.
Yeah.
Like, what's that like? That whole
It
experience.
is a grind. It really is. But I'm up for it, and I'm got a few good years left in me.
Mhm.
But it is a hustle. And
Mhm.
I'm the type of person that I'm not going to sit around and wait for the phone to call. And that's one reason I formed Her Little Red Productions in 2014, because I wanted to have a little bit of control over my future, the roles that I was playing, because maybe I needed a specific role to market myself or help my agents market me. And, I would write or co-write or collaborate on something that I needed that role. And then I would produce it and shoot it. And then I would have that footage. So, I've tried to be smart, and not be stuck in a little box, because I was in a little box in this business for a long time of just playing one specific type of woman. And I knew that I wanted to play more character types, and I had to prove to the casting community and the directors that I could do that. So I started self-submitting on actorsaccess.com and backstage.com, looking for good roles with talented people attached, that are the up and comers. And I've gotten a lot of great roles on my own.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, I think it did. I think it did.
I just came off this film festival in the Dunedin International Film Festival, which was wonderful. And we premiered A Taste of Love, which is what's coming out on February 19th at 8 p.m. on Hallmark. So my brain is a little bit fried, you guys. So just bear with me.
I understand.
I've been talking all weekend.
So you got to see
got a little bit of a voice left.
You got to see this on big screen then. That's kind of fun.
I did.
That's
cool. And then they added another screening, an unexpected screening, because it was just so popular, and the first one sold out and people were like, please, please, please. So the second one, that theater sold out too. And it was just so fun to go and welcome everybody and thank them for coming. And I had the best time. I'm so grateful.
That's cool. So what was it like to be on the Loki set?
God, girl, it was so surreal.
Yeah.
I was just trying to stay grounded is all I can say, because it is massive. It's like nothing I have ever even been close to being part of, and so wonderful. And, we had a female director. Yay, female directors. Kate Heron from the UK, and a huge crew.
Yeah.
Tremendous set, tremendous crew. But, I think what helped me not freak out and lose it was the fact that the character that I was portraying was just tough, really, excuse the language, but badass warrior woman whose planet is being destroyed. Her husband's already been killed. She's outlived them all, and she's going down with the ship. She's not giving in. She's fighting till the end. So, I was already in that energy. And I think that helped me to stay confident and to be able to rise to the occasion to go out and blast Tom Hiddleston's character, Loki. So it was fantastic. I couldn't believe they were paying me to do it.
That's awesome.
I was shocked that I even got it. But because when I got the audition, my agents were very excited about it. And I thought, I am not going to set myself up for disappointment, because this is Marvel. And yes, it would be fantastic, but I'm just going to stay right here in reality. It's just another audition. I'm going to go have fun. And I did. In the audition, I went up to one of my acting coaches' studio up in Orlando, and he had I don't know if it was I think it was a tripod folded up that I held beneath the camera so you couldn't see it, but I held it like it was this gun, because she has this heavy futuristic gun that she's holding, and that thing was heavy, but I'm not complaining. So anyway, when she shoots him, I'm like, kind of pretended like I was doing it. And we just had a blast with the audition. And I booked that directly from tape. I didn't even have to have a callback.
Wow.
But I think the homeless Lynn role in Cobra Kai, I'm sure they saw that footage. So they were like, oh, that gal, she can play that crazy lady. She can play this.
So you have to do some action and stuff like that?
That was the most of the action. I'm walking out of
Loki.
Walking out of my homestead on the planet Lamentus with this gun, with this futuristic heavy gun. And then, and I blast him a couple of times when I'm sitting in the chair and the door's open. And then we have the exchange, and then I walk out, blast him again, and then we have another exchange. So
that's cool.
I can handle about that much action.
I'd like like to take a second and thank our sponsor of this episode of the podcast. It's the novel The Secret Ingredient by bestselling author Nancy Nagel in a new edition from Harpeth Road Press. Years ago, Kelly McIntyre couldn't see her life getting any sweeter. She was engaged and dreaming of opening a restaurant with her fiancé, Andrew York. But life had other plans for Kelly. Now she's the owner of an adorable pot-bellied pig named Gray, and she also runs her own bakery. Business is good, so good, that she's invited to compete in a Valentine's Day baking competition in New York. As she prepares for the contest, she's feeling confident until she hears that Andrew is back in town. Will they agree on the secret ingredient to happiness, or will they get more than they bargained for? Perfect Valentine's escape that will have you nibbling your favorite chocolates and snuggling up late into the night. If you enjoyed the TV movies based on Nancy's books and are looking for more delightful romance, look no further. You can get The Secret Ingredient at harpethroad.com or by using our affiliate link below. That's harpethroad.com. And you had a role in Cobra Kai. I have not seen that show, but I've heard, a lot of my friends really love it. But yeah, you had six episodes, I think.
I think that sounds right. Yes, I play homeless Lynn. Her name is really Lynn in the show, but everybody calls her homeless Lynn because she is like a bum that's digging in the trash can, and she's there kind of for comic relief, and she's filthy. They cover me in dirt makeup from head to toe. And my nails, they're the worst. And then my feet, like the last one, they wanted to show my feet and my legs. Lynn wears layers, so she has on these cut off sweatpants. Excuse me, and then a couple of skirts, and then top, vest, jacket, whatever, and then these bedroom slippers, Rachel. And it was so funny because they were brand new, and I mean, I'm putting on filthy clothes, and I'm just completely a mess, a hot mess, and then I have these soft bedroom shoes, and I thought, oh, I'm going to get to wear these things, for the next 10 hours or 15, 14 hour long we're shooting, and they were, putting dirt makeup on them or dirt or whatever to make them dirty. And they would send them for approval, and the directors would send them back and say they're not dirty enough. So they were so disgusting, my feet and my toenails. I mean, you definitely do not go get a mani-pedi before you play homeless Lynn.
Right.
But anyway, they were filthy, and it was just it's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But they were still so comfy and soft. I didn't care. And then they paint my teeth. This is the kind of the icing on the cake. Right before I start shooting, they paint my teeth brown, and then they go back in between them with dark brown. So they're straight up rotten.
Is it hard doing those little bit more comic relief, those sort of sillier roles? Is it hard kind of getting into that spirit?
Not at all, because the writing is so fantastic. They write these hilarious one-liners for homeless Lynn, and they take on a life of their own with hashtags that the fans use, and people just always will comment about her different lines that she says, and says, oh, me and my kids, we say those through the house all the time. We're always quoting homeless Lynn, and because it is hilarious, and it's because the writing, it starts with the writing.
Yeah. Cool. That's fun. So would you describe yourself as a rom-com, Hallmark type movie fan?
Yes. And I'm so proud to finally be part of a Hallmark movie. I just, I've had people say, why aren't you on Hallmark? And I was like, I don't know, I should be. And they're like, yes, you should be. So I'm really excited about February 19th.
Yeah. So was this film, it's Taste of Love is the name. So was it filmed in Florida?
It was filmed in Dunedin, Florida, which is outside of Tampa and Clearwater, in the most charming waterside community that I've ever been to, because it's so special. The people of that town are so friendly and so film friendly. The restaurants opened up. I mean, we filmed in a restaurant, and they open up, they feed us breakfast, they feed us lunch. All of the businesses come together. They wanted to have this film in their community, and it highlights how beautiful and how friendly it is, but very, very artsy, because where I just came from, premiering it was in Dunedin. It was the Dunedin International Film Festival.
Oh, right.
And yes, and they have this just huge army of volunteers that put on this wonderful film festival, and the whole community, all the residents get involved. It just amazed me because I've been to a lot of film festivals. But this one is so special, and I think you guys are just going to love the cinematography of Mike May, and see the beauty of this town.
Well, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what the movie's about?
Okay, well, it stars Erin Cahill. A lot of you are probably familiar with her.
Hmm.
And she's a culinary expert and has her own show. But, her heart is still kind of back home in the small town, with her parents who have a restaurant called CC Riders. And that's a real restaurant, the name of it, in Dunedin. And her parents have been running it. It's been in the family for generations. And of course, she bumps into her old flame, childhood sweetheart kind of guy. And there's some challenges in the restaurant, and she has some challenges herself. So, we just have to see how it all works out. But I play Patty Ryder, Erin's character's mother, and
Hmm.
Martin Cove, who is a big star on Cobra Kai, plays my husband, Glenn Ryder. So this is an opportunity for fans to see Martin Cove in a completely different kind of role. And he's just what he should be doing because he's such a sweetheart. And
Hmm.
his son, Jesse Cove, is Aaron's love interest. And he was also in Cobra Kai too.
Yeah, that was interesting that it has a father-son duo in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had the sweetest relationship. Oh my goodness, those two are just precious.
Hmm.
I mean, it was so special to be around
Hmm.
them.
Was that part of how you like heard about it? Was that they were in it?
No,
And
no, it was cast by Lori Wyman Casting in South Florida. And my agent, Tracy Daniele at Brevard Talent, thank you, Tracy and Lori, submitted me for it. And I auditioned, and I was immediately put on hold. And, it took a while to get that official booking. But we were real happy that they did book a local Florida actress rather than bringing, someone else in from LA. So I'm so thankful that
Mhm.
happened. And I'm thankful to Tracy and for Lori for fighting for me. And actually, Martin Cove, I think, put in a good word too. But you know what? It'd be cool to have three Cobra Kai cast members in this rom-com. I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm so grateful to everybody.
Did you freak out a little bit when you got it? When you got it? I mean, sure, you probably do that when you get any booking. It's very
Yeah, you
exciting.
just, you get so excited because you just want to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just so looking forward to it. And it's in my, I'm in Central Florida right now. So it's like,
Hmm.
in my home base. And a lot of my friends were in it. And a
Yeah.
lot of the people from Dunedin were extras on it. And it was just so much fun.
I know these movies are made real fast. Was that intense to make it so fast?
I think, you know what? It was interesting. We didn't have a lot of retakes, and
Hmm.
things ran pretty smoothly. And
Hmm.
thank goodness the weather mostly held, which is can be a challenge in Florida. But I think they were pretty happy with
Yeah.
the time frame that everything was happening in.
Yeah. It must have been fun working with Erin. She's one of our faves.
Do I love Erin Cahill? Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I am her TV mom forever. And will be her other mom in real life because she is just so special. And she's so beautiful inside and
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
I feel like she's the kind of person you want to have number one in the call sheet in on a
Always.
set.
Always.
Yeah.
I'd like to have her directing me too, because she's
Yeah.
so knowledgeable.
Yeah.
She's so knowledgeable because she's been
Hmm.
doing it since she was so young, and she's very
Yeah.
generous, and she has a lot of leadership skills, and I just really admire that. And I love that kind of stuff when people will tell you what they're thinking or tell you, if there's a better way to do something. Because I hadn't even been on a set in a while because of all the COVID stuff. And she's just wonderful. I mean, to me, she's got it going on, not just as a brilliant actress, but as a producer, as a director, a businesswoman.
Mm.
Yeah, she's the
She's
best.
done a lot of producing of these now.
Yeah,
Quite a few,
yeah.
yeah, that she's
And she
she's
should.
led.
I mean, we're lucky to have her, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I'll
definitely.
tell you one thing about her. When we're out and about, and she may have been working all day from very, very early hours to late hours or whatever, but she always takes time for the fans. She always takes time, and because she's highly recognizable, and she
Hmm.
always is happy to talk with them and see them. It was
Yeah.
wonderful for me, an actress at my level, to watch her and how professional she is and how open and just lovely. And Martin
Hmm.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
he's good to the fans also. So that was quite, a nice experience to be able to watch how they work.
Well, a couple of years ago, she was in a movie that was filming here in Utah called Love, Fall, and Order, I think was the name. But she was here, and my friend Jax was in the movie, and so she was there with
Okay.
Erin. She happened to have a small role, and they knew I was a big fan of Erin, and that I loved Erin, and so they planned this whole thing that I was just thinking I was going to go with Jackson Shaw to dinner since they were in town. They were both in the movie, and so I was there, and surprise, there at the dinner table is Aaron Cahill. And they
She would so
orchestrated it
do that.
all so that it would be a big surprise to me, and it was
She would
so sweet.
totally do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That
yeah.
sounds just like her. And I know
Hmm.
that just made your whole day
Yeah,
because
it really
how
did.
special,
It's
right?
very
And
fun.
they
Yeah.
kept the surprise. You had no clue.
No, I had no clue.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. Love it.
So, well, very good. We're excited for the movie. It's going to be a lot of fun. It was like a bonus movie because we were focused on the Jane Austen month that they're
Yeah.
doing on Hallmark, and then we're like, what's this other movie?
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah, It's President's
Yeah,
Day, right?
President's Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
8
So,
p.m. Eastern Standard Time,
hmm
February 19th.
and it's always fun when you get the like food angle in these
Yes.
movies.
Yes. Yes. A lot of great food in this movie. It's
Hmm.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All
then the
right.
beautiful scenery of Florida, the Florida,
Yeah. That'd be beautiful.
waterline, the
I know.
beaches and the
I've been to Florida twice, once when I was little, and then once I took a trip to Tampa
yeah.
about 5 years ago.
Okay.
That
Well,
was really
yeah,
fun.
Dunedin's right up the road.
Hmm.
So you'll have to come back and go to CC
Ah,
Riders and eat and go to
there you
all the
go.
little shops and restaurants that you'll see in this movie.
Yeah. I love swimming in the ocean,
Uh-huh.
and sometimes certain beaches it's just too the tide's too strong. You can't really swim that well.
Yeah.
But what was
Right.
nice in the Tampa beaches is they were long and very swimmable.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
The Gulf of Mexico is calm. It was so wonderful to
Yeah.
take my kids when they were little, because you can sit with them, right in the edge of the water and play with them and that kind of thing. Whereas the Atlantic Ocean, like in Palm Beach and Daytona Beach and Miami Beach, you've got the big waves. So yeah, the Gulf is calm usually
Hmm.
and really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
Have some fun, get to know you questions that
Oh,
we like to
okay.
end
Don't
off
make
with.
them
Okay.
hard.
Yeah.
Remember, I've got a fried brain right now, but I'm trying to form words.
Yeah. The first one is, what is the best ice cream flavor?
Chocolate?
Oh, okay, good.
No, that's not a hard one. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Okay. Next, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Okay. What music are you into?
Oh, I love Motown sound. My mother was a musician, my sister's a musician, so I do have a wide range in my playlist. I mean, I've got country, I've got jazz, I've got current, but I have a lot of Motown sound.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
All right. What is your go-to date night food?
Go-to date, probably, I'm trying to be healthy, so I'm gonna have to say like grilled salmon,
Okay.
I mean, if I'm in New York City, it's gonna be, pizza.
What
Yeah,
what
slice.
what your toppings?
Cheese, extra cheese,
Extra cheese.
extra cheese. And I want it well done, extra crispy, please.
Yeah, that sounds good. Okay. What is your go-to date night activity if you're going out and doing something?
Gosh, I've been married so long. Anything, that's a hard one. Date night activity, I would like to say go to the movies, but we don't really do much of that. Probably just visit with friends. That's not much of a date night.
Well, no, it's nice now. I mean, we all missed that so much during the pandemic. So
yeah.
during quarantine. So
yeah.
yeah.
I've got great friends, and I've traveled so much working and stuff that I love to see my girlfriends and hang out.
Yeah. All right. Which do you like better, dogs or cats?
Dogs. I have 2 dogs and I have 1 cat. So I'm going to have to go with dogs.
Okay.
I like these questions. These are easy for my old brain.
They're easy. All right. Which do you like better, beaches or mountains?
Beaches. I love the mountains. I'm a Carolina girl, but I would rather be warm than cold.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. What's your favorite holiday to celebrate?
I love Christmas.
It's hard to beat Christmas because it's like a whole season as opposed to just one day or one week.
I love it. I love the decorations and the twinkling lights and all the Hallmark movies. And, I just love it.
Well, what is your favorite Hallmark or romantic movie?
Well, I'm going to have to say A Taste of Love for Hallmark is my favorite Hallmark movie. And a romantic movie would probably be Love Actually.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. Especially, I mean, Emma Thompson just slays it in that movie. She's so good.
I mean, have you ever forgotten that performance?
No. It's so good.
I mean, that performance, for me, I'll remember it my whole life and has inspired me to dig deep. And I'm like, she just went there. She allowed herself to be so vulnerable and so open and honest, sharing her emotions with us.
Yeah, definitely. Well, very good. You did it. You answered all the questions.
Thank you so much. This has been so much fun.
Well, thank you for coming on. And if people want to follow you on social media or things like that, how do they do that?
Yeah, well, on Instagram, it's I am Susan Gallagher, and it's Gallagher. And on Facebook, it's Susan Gallagher Official. Now, the Cobra Kai fans started a Facebook page several years ago, and they run it, which is called Cobra Kai's Homeless Land. But I mostly engage on the Susan Gallagher Official page.
Okay, great. We'll have all that in the description. People can follow you. And thanks so much again. And good luck with the new movie.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
I'd like to thank Susan for coming on the podcast. This was a lot of fun to get to talk with her. Let us know what you think about other things we talked about in the comments or on Twitter. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure you're following the podcast, Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews 5 stars. That really helps us a lot, especially right now where we had this malfunction with especially now where we had this update to the iPhones that really messed up a lot of different podcasts. So if you could put in your ratings and reviews, it would really help us out right now. And then also, if you're watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our Patreon group, which is the best way you can support us, and our merch store. We have lots of fun Hallmark inspired designs. And thanks again to Susan. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye.